Hello everyone, I am back with more complicated love. Chapter 5. Jessica, pointing the gun at me, and I feared for my life. This is Audria. Please put the gun down, I pleaded. Why should I, huh? Give me one good reason, Jessica asked. She continued to point the gun at me with her finger close to the trigger. I suddenly heard the sirens that sounded like they were close. My heart was pounding very fast and I felt weak. There was a loud knock on the door that caused Jessica to look startled. The police immediately rushed inside the warehouse, searching through the rooms. Hello, anyone in here? Asked the police. Back to Zane. I got a call back from the police saying that they knew who had kidnapped my girlfriend. I quickly drove to the location they had gave me. When I arrived, I saw Mr. and Mrs. Simmons. At least I was pretty sure it was Audrey's parents, and Andrea with worried expressions on their faces. I walked up to them and I introduced myself. I ran inside the building, and I heard Andrea, Audrey's twin sister, call to me, "No, wait! You can't go in there!" And as I got in, I heard footsteps, policemen's footsteps, I assumed. I followed the noise to a dimly lit room at the end of the hall. I heard Audrey scream, and turned my head to see Jessica pointing a gun at her. I ran towards Jessica and tried to get her to drop the gun, but she refused. I fought to get the gun out of her hand, and after a few minutes, I heard a gun go off. "No!" I heard Andrea yelling. I backed away from Jessica, breathing heavily. I backed away from Jessica to see her falling limply on the floor. A pool of blood starting to form around her midsection and showed through her shirt. And Audrey rushed to Jessica's side with tears in her eyes as she was holding Jessica. And I walked over to Audrey and put my hand on her shoulder. I felt her shoulders shaking due to her crying. After a few minutes, Audrey came up to me and embraced me in a tight hug. I smoothed her hair down and kissed her on the forehead. And then I heard more footsteps coming up the stairs and hugged Audrey tighter. And while we were talking, And while we were walking towards the exit of the warehouse, we saw the police had caught the kidnappers and were handcuffing them. Audrey and Andrea yelled, running up to her. Kidnappers and were handcuffing them. "Audrey!" Andrea yelled, running up to her. "Are you okay?" she asked. Audrey turned around and embraced her sister, and Mr. and Mrs. Simmons came up to them and hugged them as well. I saw Audrey reach her hand back towards me to hold. After they broke their hug, Mr. Simmons approached me and said, "So, you're Audrey's boyfriend. How long has this been going on?" "Well, Mr. Simmons," replied Zane, "my name is Peter, but not now. We can discuss this later. Come on, kids, you must be exhausted. Let's all go home for dinner. And Zane, you are invited too. We have things to talk